Referee Drew Altram points to the spot, and it's game on in Holden Cup action. The Newcastle Knights up against the Brisbane Broncos. The first touch, we're seeing a fair few of the Knights players push through to the upper grades, and the Broncos playing in the Intrust Super Premiership. So some opportunity for the players within the squad as McIntyre takes the second hit up. You've seen last week's game for the Knights. There was lots of shuffling around because they had those two halves in the head injury assessment and then one sin bin. So did a good job to get the points.
Yeah, Hayden Loffrey got him home. He's sitting on the bench there. He's been playing halfback for most of the year. Let's see how they go for the start of the match without him.
First set of 6 for the Newcastle Knights, almost to the halfway line. Looking to get an early kick in. Dark is the key kicker. He's found the winger on the full this time, who's lively with the football. Coming back to him, he's forward.
Yeah, Dark's got that ability to kick it back across from left to right. He does that a lot. He needs to vary up his kicks. As well positioned from forward from the Broncos. He's got that right on the full.
Shibasaki now with the football. Interesting player, played in the Nines early this year for the Brisbane Broncos, along with Jerome Burns. Some experience up the top. Certainly look like they play a fast brand of football, the Broncos, when they're at their best. Here's Haas with the ball. As Danny touched on in the lead up to the game, playing opposed against the Maroons this week in the Broncos 20s in the pose session. He was Fafita. Now the Broncos move it to the sideline. Good defence there by the Knights. Gudgeon it was that come in and shut it down. It'll be a good battle in itself. The left edge of attack for the Broncos and the right edge in defence for the Knights. Good kick pressure here. Little kick over the top by Burns. Cooper's well placed. Almost, he took on the sideline, which was dangerous, but he almost came up with a break.
How did he stay in there, Frank? He rolled the dice. It should have been resolved over into the touch line, which is a bit disappointing from the Broncos, but they're in a good position here.
There we go. We see plenty of that in the Holden Cup. They certainly roll their hand, roll the dice, as you say, dear. Now Andrews with the ball. Last time we called here in Newcastle, Andrews had a runaway try to seal the victory for the Knights. Henry Penn now with the football. The experienced Penn has been very good for the Knights in recent times, back in the starting side. Starling away to Hosking. Already busy at a dummy half, Tommy Starling. Hosking finished the game at dummy half last week. Little kick in behind now by Starling, out of dummy half. Gives all of his chasers a chance to come through, and good, solid defence by Gibbs.
Yeah, that's okay play from Tommy Starling there. He probably should have just given that to his better position, his halves. That's their role. We've always spoken about Tommy just overplaying sometimes, and he's such a talent, loves getting out from dummy half. Just early, give the ball to your halves.
Now the Broncos work it through the centre. Back row and Russell with the ball. Creative out of dummy half, trying to get the early ball to Huss. We're seeing that offload already. He's a handful. Still only 17, doesn't turn 18 until December. Been on plenty of NRL clubs' radars.
That's another New South Wales from there. Enjoy Whitbread, the 10 for the Broncos. He's another talent, hard worker.
Very talented player. Wide pass here. The 5/8 gets the kick in. O'Hara. Once again, it's Andrews with good, solid defence there by Smoothie, who comes through. And now they put some pressure on the Knights. Really push him back into his in goal, and Andrews will play it just a couple of metres out.
Love a last name, like Smoothie, Frank.
Something I'm not. That's the Knights with Cooper. Slow play the ball. The outside back's already having to come into this game. Less than 4 minutes in. They play the ball 25 out. Once again, we're seeing the outside backs in Gibbs this time with good leg split. One of the Broncos got up fairly slowly there, the hooker in Smoothie, and Starling takes advantage. He'll be busy out of there all day.
Nice work from Cooper, pushing back on the inside. Trailing Starling, that's been the play all day.
Here's the bomb from Dark. Up, and it's no problems for Allen at the back. You're impressed with Corey Allen as well, Dan?
Oh, what a great teacher he has up in the top grade, and Darius Boyd. There's sort of a little bit of similarity in the way they sort of get around the field. He's a great teacher to have. Very quick, loves getting out in this left edge of the Brisbane Broncos.
Now it's the Broncos trying to do the work through the middle third. Defence from Hosking over the top on Staggs. There's another interesting player to watch from Dubbo in Wellington. Stayed in the bush, played in the 18s in the first grade out there in the bush in the Group 9, I think it is, Wellington.
Yeah, he wasn't ready to get up to Brisbane straight away, so he stayed in the bush and got his player out there, played a bit of first grade.
There's a kick that went across field. Didn't make a lot of advantage from it. And now Gudgeon is able to bounce back with the football.
You just saw that run from Haas where they got at him from the inside, and that's the way they did handle for Feeder on Wednesday night. So the way Haas, he loves getting to the small men. The Newcastle Knights have to be careful of that.
I'm not sure. Here's a good ball. He tipped on to Dark. They're moving the ball around the Knights. Dark gets a fairly quick play. The ball Hosking back through the middle again. Already the Knights playing close to the ruck and in behind the tight spot, and a penalty on the back of it. That's on the back of that sustained pressure on the Broncos' defensive line.
Beautiful play from Tommy Starling. Just a little bit of sell, getting out to his left and punching him back to his right, getting behind the ruck and just letting those Brisbane Broncos tackling the Knights players around the legs because they're just punching behind the ruck. And you deserve the right to get up and play it a lot quicker. The Knights to get a good ball set here, full set of 6 up their sleeve.
Great spot to start the set of 6. It was a good kick into touch by Dark. Almost too deep, meaning they're starting only 10 metres out. They take the tap and start the set of 6. The first play of the ball will be 3 metres out by the centre there in Smith. Now they move centre field. Sulo up playing the grade up in Intrust Super Premiership today, meaning there's opportunities now for Croker to start. Back to Johns, on to Cooper, who stops. He's dangerous with the football. Broncos know how dangerous he is and put big numbers around him. Look at disjointed set so far from the Knights.
You'd be just going for Sam McIntyre, the 12. Just get him opposite O'Hara on the right edge of the Broncos. Here they go here.
King with the play of the ball. Hosking one off the ruck. Able to offload back to Croker, who goes for the try line. I think he might have reached out and scored here. Referee Drew Altram is going to point to the spot, and it's first points for the Newcastle Knights on the back of Matthew Croker, who has progressed through the lower grades into the Holden Cup.
Yeah, off the back of a nice little offload, heads-up play. Yeah, that's strength to get through there. He's scored last time they played here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Matty Croker, he likes the ground here. But Hosking, nice and direct, as he's been at the start of the match and all year. Beautiful little offload, pokes his head down and gets a 4-pointer for his team.
Always honest, Hosking, always there. It was probably not the right play, but they turned it into the right play with the offload and able to capitalise on the back of it.
Yeah, it's good to see teams not going out the back all the time. He's hit Hosking on a lead line, and beautiful play. Good finish from Croker. He had a little bit of work to do there. But yeah, that left edge of Newcastle and that right edge of the Broncos will see a bit of traffic.
Now, Dan, I don't like to go back and mention things from the past that are negative. This spot was exactly where Kanoa Gudgeon shanked it, like your 9-iron off the tee last time. Hopefully he can get it right today.
Oh, mate, I don't know who the kicking coach is, but we saw last week Paul Brock Lamb as well shanked one out on that left side. He's a very good goal kicker, Gudgeon.
And good goal kickers correct it, and he's done it really well. He was a picture of concentration. First points to the Newcastle Knights. We'll go sideline to Emma Lawrence.
It's really good to see guys like Croker really making the most of their opportunity. Vico Puliavea usually would be starting, but he's injured at the moment. So, as you mentioned, Croker coming up from that SG ball side, really, really making the most of this opportunity. And he actually won the Brian Carlson Award for the best junior in the Newcastle club. So, plenty of potential there in Matt Croker.
Can I shout out to his mum and dad? They drive their 2 kids. His other brother, Harry, plays in the junior grades as well. And Harry played in the under-16s, led the curtain raiser to game 3 for New South Wales, and they only watched 10 minutes of the game, and then they drove back because they live on a dairy farm, and they had to milk the cows the next morning. So they do plenty of miles, the Croker family.
What a fantastic story. Can relate to that. My mum coming from a dairy farm and the hard work that's needed, and you're seeing the benefits on the back of it. Now it's the Knights with the ball, working it off their own line. King's been one of the real go-forward. Look at Henry Penn. He's keen to roll the sleeves up.
He's made the transition from the outside backs into the back row really easy. Henry can't hold on to that.
He was a bit
Speaking
unlucky.
of easy, that was hard.
Well, he got the ball in an awkward position up his back, and he looked like he was doing some yoga there for a minute to try and get control of it, and it just slid away from him.
Yeah, completion after points is key.
Broncos scrum, here's our mark.
Yeah, he just couldn't. A little bit of a nudge there, and very difficult to try and get your head around it, the grip.
He nearly had it as well too, Dan. And they work on those skills at training, the ball hold.
Absolutely. Yeah, your thumb's so important, engaging your thumb on the footy all the time. And just couldn't get that done there.
The sun peeks through once again here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Going to be the Broncos to bounce back. The Knights leading 6-0. First chance for a good while in the first 10 minutes. They haven't had much time down this end, the Broncos, and now they get that opportunity from centre field.
Nice play coming out to the left, the Broncos. All set.
All playing. Had to stop it. The pass was slightly behind Corey Allen. The next best option for him was a little kick in behind, and just a bit of a disjointed set there for them.
Yeah, it all comes from the importance of the pass, Frank. Being right on the money. As soon as you have it just on the back of you there, it's hard to adjust and takes all the momentum out of the play.
It's Henry Penn again. You can hear his teammates congratulating on the speed of the line, the speed of onto the football, putting pressure on the defensive line. The try scorer in Croker with the football. Being played at a good speed this game in the early exchanges. Hosking the workhorse for the Knights. Met in solid defence by the Broncos. We'll go all day Hosking. Skipper and Carrigan met him at that advantage line. Dark now with a chance just outside the 40. Ball will go straight down the throat there of Foward, who has looked lively with the ball in kick return.
It's got a nice left foot step there. He's caught most balls on the full, and Shibasaki here, Gamet, he's a good player, young kid as well. The number 4 for the Broncos.
Yeah, he certainly is. We've seen a little bit of that in the nines. Junior Kangaroo, seen a bit of him in there as well, Dan.
Yeah, under 18 state rep for Queensland as well. Got a good list there.
As is Carrigan now, the skipper. Impressive story in Carrigan, an OP1 through Gregory Terrace. He's a Gundawindi boy, I think. Gundy ball. Going to be very proud. And the Broncos down the short, so a little kick. Like his time again, I think the hooker in Smoothie. The option may have been right, the kick just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, just the executions let them down, the Broncos. Last time, especially their kicking game. Got to get that sorted if they progress forward in this game.
Cooper with the football now. Quickly up into the defensive line, and as Denny touched on before, always pushing through that centre third. Croker with the football. Knights just rolling through their sets. Todd Lowry works a lot on playing the percentages. A good ball from Johns back inside to Henry Penn, who's turned the football over again. He'd be disappointed. 3rd year in the Holden Cup, Henry, so one of the experienced players, and that's the 2nd time he's turned the football over.
Yeah, that's very disappointing. Let's just have a look at the way he's got this ball, the way he's got the grip. How's it come out? It's just hard. As we talk about the thumb, Frank, when you carry it without your thumb in contact with the ball, it's very hard to get into contact and not come up with an error sometimes. You've got to work on it. It's something, it's a basic skill of the game, but it's so important to have that thumb engaged. The grip.
He might want to work a different part of the football field. I think that's twice in that same area that he's turned it over, Henry, which means the Broncos get an opportunity now in the Knights' half. They're going to punch down that corridor on the far side through the skipper and Carrigan. They're set out to the open. Lots of direction being sent out by the halves. One more hit up before they shift the ball, I imagine. Burns very keen for the football out wide. Now he gets it now. Able to link up with Allen out the back. Here's some space for the Broncos. Knights have converged in, and Johns comes up with a low tackle, meaning that the Broncos can play on the back of it. Burns has a crack at the line. Good defence down low. By Gudgeon stopped him. Knights nearly jumped on that at dummy half. A little kick from Smoothie in behind. The Knights have dived on it. Tom Starling. Has he been able to get back in the field of play? The referee says no, he grounded in the in goal.
Fantastic pickup. That's a try saver from Tommy Starling. Did so well to get back there. More importantly, get that ball on the half volley. Beautiful play. Just dropping back, dropping out of the line to help out his back man. Great play. Gets down and forces a ball in goal. They get a drop out here, the Knights. That saved a certain try there, Tommy Starling.
Very, very close. The try line, either way. If you get it on the try line, it's a try. And if you only make it to the try line, it means you're in the in goal. Very close. Now the Knights will need to defend their own line after the dropout. Repeat set of 6 for the Broncos for the first time. Payne Haas with the football. Always looking to promote it.
Now he had a bit of time in the Hunter Valley, Frank.
You're thinking he should have stayed here, aren't you, Dan, as the Knights man?
Just put him on the list.
Another one that might have slipped away. Palacia now with the football. Able to stay on his feet. Means it'll be a pretty quick play. The ball. Oh, Burns has turned the football over. Jerome Burns, I think he had plenty of thoughts to what he was going to do to the outside. The ball just bobbled out.
Yeah, you can see the heads drop there of the Broncos. Confidence. We did speak to the guys inside the camp and said they are a bit of a confidence team and haven't started too confident here in the first 15 minutes.
They're a young team as well, Dan. There's lots of players that are playing. Jaden Sewer and those sorts of players playing up in the NRL and also in the Intrust Super Cup in Queensland. So gives the opportunity for the youngsters to have a crack at this Holden Cup grade. Good set of 6 here by the Newcastle Knights. Jack Johns had a long time to prepare that kick. Fortunately, still found the fullback Allen on the full. Foward goes across field. He is lively, trying to link up with the winger on the far side. The Knights, if they present that disjointed kick chase line, he'll be dangerous with the kick return.
As much as he didn't go too forward there, he went across and pulled the Knights out of shape. So a few of their players are out of position at the moment. See if they can capitalise on that and get a good set away here, the Broncos, and get a good kick chase in.
Just doing the hard yards out of their own end. Once again, the Broncos. It's been the Knights dominating the field position for the majority of this first 15 minutes. Smoothie at a dummy half, who's been heavily involved in the early exchanges. Burns, ball back inside to Haas. He comes up with an offload and Burns has got some open space. Beats the first 2 defenders. Comes to Cooper and a great one-on-one tackle.
Just need a bit of support there, Frank.
Now there's space on the edge for the Broncos. Carrigan quickly moves the ball on. Back inside to Allen. Allen over the top, but knocked in field by Andrews. And now it's Cooper's going to counter-punch. Good scrambling defence by the Knights.
Yeah, Paul Burns went through. He looked around. Would have been nice to see Allen on the inside, but he's well and truly back waiting for the next play. And that inside ball and tried to get one over the top. And luckily for the Knights, tap back. Cooper comes up with it.
That second phase play there by Payne Haas is what the Broncos are really dangerous on the back of.
Yeah, it's definitely a weapon and something spoken about from the Knights' point of view. Wrap up Haas with his offloads. Keep alive.
The Knights have moved it through Dark. Ball out the back by Johns. Good defence by the Brisbane Broncos. Shibasaki was to come in. That'll be a good battle in this side of the field. Curtis Dark knows that the Knights need a bit of a spell and a clever kick into touch to give his team a rest.
Good control play there from Dark. Switched around from, he's positioned on the left side of the field, switched to the right, just punched one into the into the touch line and gives his team a breather.
Interesting last week to think about that with Dark and also Jack Johns in the HIA, a player in the sin bin, and meaning they need to shuffle around a little bit. And Toddy Lowry's a bit disappointed to come away with a loss after leading by 16 points to 0, but to take a point out of that was a good performance by the Knights.
I think there was a couple of errors late in that game, which they probably should have tidied up. And a couple of high balls into the sun, apparently. And Matty Cooper, there's one part of his game that can improve is those high kicks. And that's probably why he's a little bit disappointed. But from their effort base, they're always going to give effort, this NYC team, the Knights. That's what they've built their season on the back of.
That's the Broncos once again doing the hard yards out of their own end. A couple of good charges by the outside backs. This time it's Staggs. Looking forward to seeing him with some ball in hand. Another good charge here. This time it's the back rower in Russell. Broncos to the halfway line. Payne Haas with the ball.
With Haas, I know we're talking about him a bit, but he trains so hard, Frank. He'll play a lot of minutes out here today and plays big, long minutes.
There's a great backstory to him being with the Brisbane Broncos. Apparently a good heart-to-heart with Wayne Bennett helped him stay at the Broncos. Now they shift it. There's an opportunity back on the inside. Will it roll dead? The 5'8's tapped it back. Almost an opportunity for the Broncos. Hayden O'Hara it was that he chased back to the inside, nearly tapped it back to his own player. That was close.
Very close. Cooper kept his cool. Could have ended up in a different scenario. Here we have a look at this from Cooper, thinking that's dead. The ball was alive. Bit lucky in the end, I think. He got the job done there. And goes the Knights. Well and truly upfield now.
And because Cooper had the eyes up, the Knights been able to turn around quickly. Tommy Starling split them open in one side and out the other. He ran out of options and in the end had to take the tackle. Just couldn't link up with his support players. Dark out of dummy half. Space for the Knights. Broncos will have to hang on here. Kyle Smith almost over the line.
Broncos, one-on-one strip.
So a knock on by the Broncos. Attempted one-on-one strip is what the referee's called.
Yeah, because of his first couple of plays from Matty Cooper. He wasn't in support of Tom Starling. Let's have a look at this here. It's a one-on-one strip. The ball's gone backwards, so that's called that knock on. Here's Tommy Starling. He had no Matty Cooper in support. Ran away from Dark. Yeah, that's the way for Tommy Starling. He's always going to get out. A bit more support around him. They've got another set of 6, 10 metres out from the line. The Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, you spoke a lot about that before the game, and in the times we have called it, Tommy Starling, he's dangerous out of there. Just got to make sure he doesn't overplay that hand. Penn gets the ball back on the inside from Johns. Strong run from Henry. Johns wants the ball again. Keen to link up with his attacking weapons on the outside in Gibbs. Big numbers in front of him defensively. Knights want to go back centre field through Croker. Starling and some fresh legs for the Knights on in Jaden Butterfield. Now they're in good field position to attack on both sides of the ruck. Starling goes to the left. Dark had to reach forward, knock the ball on. You could see the Broncos celebrating that there. Good field position set up. They could have gone either way. They decided to go to the left. The pass was just not quite good enough.
Well, 20 minutes into this game, it's only one try been scored, and the fence is on top here. That's just an ordinary ball there to your half. He's looking to try and dig into the line and get some things on his mind as well.
Here's the line for the mark.
We'll go sideline to Emma Lawrence.
Just come back.
It's quite unusual, isn't it, to only have one try after 21 minutes. Usually it's the attack that's on display in the 20s, but keep an eye out for Jaden Butterfield. He's the most experienced player in that side with 40 games, and he's also an Australian schoolboys rep from back in 2015.
You're right, Emery. He's very important for them, and Todd Lowry has used him well off the interchange. Broncos have struggled with this play the ball.
Play breaks down on the 11.
Could have been a 50-50 either way. The referee says that the Knights were the ones that made the indiscretion.
We've got a Butterfield and a Johns out there. Forgiven to, I think there's some good times around the corner if you're a Newcastle Knight fan.
Look at this replay. It's Henry Penn, the player that the referee mentioned, just overcooked it a little bit. And a hand on the footy. Seen them go both ways, Dan.
You do. Play the ball's a bit of a who knows these days, mate. What happens in and around there, but he's got to get away from there, Henry Penn. 3 little indiscretions for him now. Just clean up that part of his game.
It was a solid hit that he put on the back rower in Palacia to try and make up for that error. Now the Broncos are the ones with a little bit of momentum. Carrigan off the back of a quick play the ball by Haas. Quickly up into the Knights' defensive line. They're set up on the right-hand side. Here's Allen with some space. The Knights had to come in and shut it down. Staggs bounces out of it and keeps going. 5'8" Hayden O'Hara took a knock after he passed that football. Just parked in behind the ruck, meaning they've only got one of their halves in attack, so the front rower goes forward for them. He plays the ball just near the post. 5th tackle. What will the Broncos come out? A little trick shot here from Haas. He'll be hard to stop from this close to the line. Impossible for the Knights' defence. And the boy with the big rap on him, Payne Haas, crashes over for the Broncos.
Yeah, he gets across the field as good as any front row you're going to see, especially in the NYC competition. But look at the way he just gets across the field here. Left foot, straightens up, and just then it's down to pure strength. And he's got plenty of that.
He's had a big week. We've touched on it a few times in become a media focus, but outside of that, through the origin, but outside of that, I understand he's a lovely young fellow, very coachable, always wanting to learn. And the conversation with Wayne Bennett was, this is what you got to do. This is how you're going to apply it with the Broncos, and he's applying that hard work, and the results are coming. He's a monster, Dan.
Yeah, for a 17-year-old kid, the best thing about Payne, and that's why you know he's going to have a big future, is the way he trains. He trains so hard and wants to be the best every time he gets onto the field. So that gives you confidence to know that he's in for a huge career in our game.
He certainly is. He's had the raps and he's living up to them at the moment. And obviously the Broncos doing a good job to keep him grounded. Really important try. And majority of the time it's been the Knights with the ascendancy. Now it's the Broncos that bounce back. Pretty straightforward kick here for Jerome Burns. He adds the extra 2 points. We've got a locked up 6-all scoreline. Emma Lawrence.
Well, you give Payne Haas a rap for his size and his speed, but what about his try-scoring ability? That's his 7th try of the season, which is more than some of those outside backs. So plenty of talent there, and really good, I think, that Brisbane are still in the contest, because this side, they've had so many changes this season, so many injuries. Only 2 of their players have played every game this season, so they're doing well so far.
It's a big kick, but it's too big from the Newcastle Knights from the restart, so that means the Broncos will get a penalty on halfway. That's the Broncos' opportunity to put a bit of pressure on the scoreboard.
It always spins you out, Frank. You go all that field there, all that field, and we somehow, when you kick it out on the full, either on the sidelines or dead.
The other thing is if you asked them to kick that for goal, it'd be too far to kick it probably, but from the kickoff, it's no problem. So it's a beautiful strike.
Shows you what the mind is in our great game. It's all about the mind at times.
It's a powerful tool, and now it's the Broncos that are on the attack, and it's the try scorer. And Haas, look at him, he's like a man mountain. Eventually, they fell him like a big tree, and he's only 10 metres out. Broncos on the attack. Skipper Carrigan takes it centre field and skips across field, meaning there's plenty of defenders engaged. And he's only half a metre out, if that. They're set up both sides, the Broncos, and deep. Burns, back to Allen. There's space on the edge. Good defence there by Jack Johns. Put Corey Allen down. Now the Broncos need to reset. Once again, it'll be through Haas. It's an offload back to Allen. That's where they're dangerous, the Broncos. Allen skipping across field. South Logan Jr. gets it to the centre field. There's space on the right-hand side of attack for the Broncos. And that's the way they get it with a long ball. O'Hara, a good pass to the outside. Broncos to the try line. And it's try time for the back rower in Brandon Russell. That's where the space was, Dan. Good vision from O'Hara, able to get the ball to Russell. He did a good job to get the points.
Let's just have a look at this ball-playing ability from Hayden O'Hara. Nice ball from the 9 from Smoothie, right on the button. And then he just digs in there. Just attracts the 3 of Newcastle in Smith. Nice little bit of ball playing eyes in front. Shows a heap of strength to get that ball down there. And Russell.
Good decoy run there by Katoni Staggs. He took some attention for the defenders, made them just stop still for a minute, which meant that they had basically a one-on-one opportunity, and it's too strong for Andrews. Russell was.
As you called it there, Frank, they were short, the Knights. Need to get that goal line defence sorted, and the fullback's in control of that. Well done to Brandon Russell. That's his first Holden Cup try for the young man. Hopefully first of many. He'll be very proud. His family, big smile there, well deserved.
What a wonderful experience is getting your first try in whatever grade it is, and Holden Cup's so important. This bloke's kicked the last 10 goals in a row, Jerome Burns. See if he can keep that record. There's a picture of concentration. Toowoomba Valleys Jr. That's the commentator's curse there. He hooked that left. He was never... I tell you what, Emma, they'd be hoping that I don't give anyone else a rap for the rest of the afternoon, because he shanked that one.
Always cursing them, aren't you? I think you might have done that the last time we did a game up here at Newcastle as well, but I know you guys gave Tyson Smoothie a rap for recognising that they were short on the right. He's actually more of a lock, and he probably will, they said about 20-30 minutes in, will shift into that lock position, and young Dre, the number 17, will come on into the hooking role. So I'll keep an eye out for that to happen very shortly.
That's the Broncos who've hit the lead. See if they can complete this set of 6 after points.
I'm glad that kick didn't go out in the full, Frank. That's a big momentum change. He kicked it out in the full, and Broncos went through on the charge and came away with points. They're very confident, the Broncos. Like I said, they're a confident team, and they got the tails up the minute.
Yeah, they've got a great development pathway, good systems around the Brisbane Broncos. Until when they get into formation, they really put some footy on. Now it's down the short side, despite being set up wide to the open. Now they're set up to shift the ball long. O'Hara gets the ball away to Carrigan. That sequence set that they've got set up there.
Yeah, he should have played there. could have tipped that on, and a lot of space there for the Broncos.
Charge down here by the Knights. Good pick up by Kanoa Gudgeon. You touched on it before, Dan. They're very happy and confident to throw the footy around the Broncos.
Yeah, well, on the back of momentum and possession, any team sees things a lot easier. And they're not blowing so hard. And at the moment, the Knights have had a great run there.
Kanoa Gudgeon it was.
Gudgeon, right behind the ruck, and he's showing that's where the Broncos are vulnerable. If they get that part of the game fixed up, the Broncos as well, they're well and truly on top of the ruck defence.
It's been a good game of footy, the Holden Cup so far. Both teams willing. Here's Butterfield. Good run off the edge of the ruck. Service from Starling. Knights on the fifth tackle. Curtis Dart will go right to the line and thread the needle in behind. Allen well positioned. The kick chase very strong from the Knights. Dive to the ground.
Yeah, nice little one in the air. Would have been handy there from Dark. A lot of guys with some pretty tall out in that left edge, and really challenged the Broncos with the high ball. Would have been the better option there.
Try scoring Russell now with the football. Haas has been enormous for them. Still going the meterage. The metres after contact is what's really clearly evident. Now they're set up. Big shift by the Broncos to the edge. Limited opportunities out here. Shibasaki. Burns with the football now on the fifth. Trying to split the winger and the fullback. Did a good job too able to do that. Cooper now picks it up. Looks to have a lot of time, the halfback Jerome Burns.
He does, and I like the way when he takes the line on. It's fast and pretty powerful. Built to the ground and well balanced. So hopefully he takes him on a little bit more.
Big and powerful. That contact there by Carrigan was big on Andrews. Cooper now, always scheming around the edge of the ruck, the fullback. But the Knights on the front foot. Starling down the short side to Dark. Some good eyes up play, heads up play there. The eyes were open.
They're just flooding the ruck, the Knights. Coach Todd Lowry knows that's where the opportunities are.
Butterfield now with the football. Their centre field set up on the fifth tackle. Jack Johns keen for the football. Moves it on now to Gudgeon, comes in one from the wing. Little kick to the in goal, it's a bit heavy. I mean, it'll be a
Talk to me, Ben.
7 tackle set.
Yeah, just execution, which we'll find in this grade with the youngsters, just executing your plays. Probably the right option there. Nice two pass kick. Just need more of a softer touch on that one. We've got a repeat set for his team.
That's the Broncos coming out off their own line. The outside backs trying to take some pressure off. Oh, nearly had his pants pulled down there. Tommy Starling. It'll slow the ball, play the ball down because he had to nearly go back and hitch him back up. Some fresh legs for the Broncos on the field. Coach Scott Tronk seeing that the game's been paid a fair pace. It's Blacker on the field. Now Smoothie out of dummy half. Just trying to catch some of these Knights defenders. And there is a bit of tired defence around the ruck. Starling comes again after missing the tackle.
Yeah, both teams need to get their ruck defence sorted. More importantly, their markers. They've got to work harder at markers and get positive.
Now they move the ball off the back of an offload, hit the deck, and Burns sees some space, little kick in behind. Kanoa Gudgeon did a really good job to fall back and then bring the ball back. There's an interesting blue trainer for the Brisbane Broncos. As you see, the Knights have forced their hand here, and it's turned over, and the Broncos have got some opportunity, and it's quickly away to O'Hara, and O'Hara will score after the Knights turned the football over. It was Heath Gibbs who tried to pick up Cooper on the inside.
Tackle one.
Referee's going to take a look at it, but now he's pointing to the spot, and it was Hayden O'Hara after they shifted the ball quickly, and points for the Bronx.
Yeah, Gibbs, beautiful run here, once again right behind the ruck. Cooper pushing through, just got caught off balance maybe, or
could have been a penalty there.
Could have been, but that's the way to do. Whenever there's an error, there's an opportunity to spread the ball to some space. Instead of running to the space, you've got to pass to the space.
It's a bit unlucky there, I think, the fullback. He got a little grab there from Eddie Blacker.
Blacker got him off balance, and that was enough to affect him running through.
Broncos, they are dangerous when they get space and opportunity. They counter-attack well.
They sure do. They're a lot of strength right across the park. And that's the way, like I said, you pass to the space, and not good enough to do that. And we've got Burns. See if you can knock this one over, make up for that one. You got to put a curse on him, Frank, here, or not say anything. What do you want to do?
But maybe I'm better off saying
get him
he
maybe
won't
out
kick
first.
it. He won't kick it. But if he can kick it, he'll move into third in the point scorers list. So now that I've said that, it's probably the hex that he doesn't need. He is an impressive young player, and as we said, he kicked the last 10 in a row. This one is right out on the far side in front of the Andrew John stand. Any famous kicks from this spot. Azam El Masri jumps to mind. You'd remember that day, Danny.
Yeah. So look, but you didn't look. You knew what was going over. After the bell.
Jerome Burns has the ball placed. Didn't get much further out. Last time was across in front. This time he pushes it to the right. The score remained the Broncos 14, the Knights 6. Go down to the sideline to Emma Lawrence.
Well, Frank, one player really to keep an eye out for. He's just come on. That's number 16 right there on your screen, Ed Burns. We spoke about Patrick Carrigan being smart and doing physio. Well, Ed is studying medicine. So in 2015, he was the highest achiever across all of Queensland in Year 12. So it's very, very impressive. If he doesn't make it in footy, he's got a very bright future ahead of him regardless.
He may well have Danny and I covered, I think, Emma.
Awesome. I love hearing the stories about what the kids are studying and how they're going away from the game, and that's just awesome. Great to hear.
His father is Martin Burns, the QC from Brisbane, well, very highly regarded. Actually had a fair bit to do with writing the Constitution around the salary cap. So.
No TVs in their house, Frank, I'm sure.
No, she's all books. All books. So let's see if Edward Burns can convert that to the field. Now the Broncos, it is rolling down the middle. The second phase play has been deadly for them, and Smoothie nearly ducked under the tackle of Hosking. Allen out of dummy half. They're starting to really look dangerous with the football. Shibasaki now across field.
Strong upper body, Gamut Shibasaki. Got to get those legs. Just noticed on field for the Knights, Brodie Jones, number 16 for the Knights. Got a huge rap on him. He's trained up at the first grade all pre-season, but he's come off the back of a serious shoulder injury, so he finds himself out there. This is his second game back.
And he's been one of those players to look watch for a while. And you speak about that shoulder injury. There's a very good chance he would have played a lot of first grade this year had he not had that, because his off-season with the first grade squad was super impressive.
And he's played a bit of footy and see how he goes for the back end of the year.
Last week was a good return for him, getting some good minutes. Here's a good kick by the Knights, kicking to the space, meaning that Allen had to turn around and fetch it. Kick chase pretty good too if they can make the tackle, and the halves are able to do that in Johns and Dark. Out of dummy half forward. He's looked likely every time he's had space in front of him. That's the Broncos have to do a bit of the cart work.
The outside backs are getting in there. It's a really good job at this time of the match. 37 minutes in, he's into half time. So they get one more last attacking set down there.
Herbie Farnworth with the football. And another interesting story. He came over from England, played for the England under-16 national team last year, and made his way over here with the Broncos. There's some good relationships there that go back a long way.
Like a national coach there, Frank, as well.
Yes, of course, Wayne.
And they've just signed Andre Savello. Savello's from St Helens. He's a fantastic young player. And come on the back of, I guess, Wayne's relationship with the English team.
And now it is the Broncos that just couldn't come up with the right option on the fifth tackle and turn it over. Just more on Farnsworth. Brian Foley, who's a legendary Wigan welfare administrator, had a great relationship with the great Cyril Connell, and that's how the relationship comes. So it's good to see them get an opportunity over here, and nice to see the Holden Cup getting a wrap with that.
They had Greg Eden last year, and Greg Eden's over there playing for Castleford. He's having such a big year, scoring tries at will over there, Greg Eden.
I think he might have dislocated his arm or shoulder this morning playing over there, so yes, some good connections there for the Broncos. Now it's the Knights with the ball. Starling out of dummy half, busy. Always challenging the defence. An offload. Now the Knights are playing some football. A bit flat-footed from the offload. Sam McIntyre eventually takes the tackle. But limited opportunities so far, Sam McIntyre. Ball back inside to Cooper, who's always dangerous. Little kick in behind by Cooper. Allen had to come forward onto the football, which is always dangerous. He threw his body on the line.
He's very confident what he's got to do back there. Allen, oh my God, that's a big error there. 45 seconds left.
That's a pivotal turnover by the Broncos.
You can let him stand up. Don't let him chase position.
Yeah, Burns just went to dummy half there. Got 30 seconds to attack the line. Just a concentration error.
Don't swap, stay in that.
2 seconds left.
The last 2 times these 2 teams have played, the team trailing at half-time has gone on to win. So that will have to be the Knights.
All right, let's go, boys.
Trail by 8. Can they come up with more points?
If the Knights would just jam one into the right here and come back from McIntyre, that's what they should be looking at here. McIntyre's on the left edge for the Knights.
Gudgeon playing more in the centres in attack.
They'll have 2 more plays.
They need to go to the post. Jack Johns is pointing to the posts. That's the direction they take. It's Finau with the football. It's a good hit up as well. The opportunity set up now to play that exact structure that Danny Badera's talked about. They go to the edge. McIntyre it is with the football, and the Broncos' defence was equal to the task. Quick play the ball. Starling plays to the edge. Smith goes to the line. They're able to adjust up in defence. They threw everything at it, but...
Well done to the Broncos.
Yeah, good defence by the Broncos. That's half-time. The Broncos 14, the Knights 6. Hosking there on screen has been a tireless worker for the Knights. Kanoa Gudgeon kicks off for second half action here in the Holden Cup. It's Blacker with the football.
Next points is crucial, though, Frank, in this match. Brisbane can get out to a nice lead here. The Knights need to score first, I think.
You did mention on the other side of the break that the Knights just struggle a little bit against the Broncos. That's all.
Well, there's been a couple of years Australia against a lot of teams, but over the 30 years of the Knights, it's not a really good percentage-wise win-loss for the Knights. Heavily in favour of the Broncos.
They've met on 46 occasions, and the Broncos have been able to come away with a victory on 32 of those. Saturday, the big game this evening will continue. The Knights up against the Broncos in NRL. This ball has bounced into the hands of the Broncos, and it'll be a double to the back row in Russell.
Onside kick chase there.
Yeah, that bounce, man, the bounce of that ball just fell into the hands of Braden Russell. The old rule, need to take the ball on the full.
Did mention it in the first half. Young Matty Cooper, so many good things to his game. Just the confidence to put his name on this kick. He needs to work hard on the high balls and make sure that he's so confident just say that's mine, or just to organise his back three to sort that one out. But last week he had a couple of those as well. So his confidence would be down with the high ball. Just needs to get under it, really attack it.
Yeah, positional play so important there, and then he lost his legs underneath him, and we were celebrating Russell's first try earlier, and now it's a double.
It's an easy game for him, so it's good to get a double. And Brendan Russell, the big Dracula mouth guard, pretty happy with his work at the minute, but that was a fortuitous bounce through an error from the Knights from not taking on the full.
Yeah, Tom Cooper, we speak about learning experiences here in this Holden Cup. This is the types of kicks that Burns wants. Surely I can't mock him out of this one. And you spoke about the next team to score. It's been the Broncos, and they've been able to kick clear now, 20 points to 6. It's a pivotal try. Emma Lawrence down on the sideline.
Wasn't it? Todd Lowry, the Knights coach, he obviously not the start that he would have wanted, but he was actually fairly happy at halftime. He was happy with their defence and attack and just wanted them to stay set for set, because he said this probably will go down to the wire, but it's certainly not over yet. We know there's plenty of momentum shifts in the 20s, so Newcastle will just need to stick at it.
Low trajectory kick there from the kickoff, trying to come up with hopefully a turnover there. The play the ball from Farnworth was a little questionable. Referee Altram says play on, and now it's a compounding penalty against Butterfield over the top, and the Broncos cruise out of their own end. Take a look at that play the ball. There's not a lot of foot in that, Dan.
Mate, play the balls in general in today's game are questionable, Frank. Every play the ball. It's one part that everyone needs to pay some attention to, more the officiating of it and what we want in the play the ball. At the moment, it's all over the shop.
And one of Andrew Voss's greatest frustrations, as we see another quick play the ball, meaning the Broncos are up and into the Knights defensive line quickly and in good field position to advance further in front on the scoreboard. Centre field, Carrigan. Back to Burns. Allen has some space. Beautiful ball on the chest of the winger, and Foward hit it at full steam and scores the try in the corner. There is an issue in back play for the Broncos. The people who pass the football, one of the players who passed the football is holding a shoulder, but that was a fantastic movement of the back line of the Broncos.
A la Darius Boyd, as we've spoken about. Burns is the one that got hit late. Look at that pass from Allen. He's learning that from the top grade. Out that left, that's where Darius Boyd likes to pass. But look at this pass. Right to left, on the money. Forward, too quick for that opportunity to go begging.
As we have a look, it's Tommy Starling who got the shot on the halfback in Jerome Burns, who's still on the ground.
When you play those lead runners, Frank, someone usually, a ball player, cops one in the ribs, because this poor Jack Johns couldn't get off the lead, which made the opportunity for Allen just to square up a little bit and throw that ball. But you dig right into the line, the halves usually cop one.
Just interesting to see who's taken the goal kick now. It's now his 5'8" partner in O'Hara. Jerome Burns still down, receiving some treatment. They're going to need a kicking tee. It might be hard without it. Mind you, I see Justin Hodges out there at the moment. He's even going to run the kicking tee out. That would be impressive there. Blue shirt. Hodges will be knocked up if he's got to run that all the way over there.
How good's it for the Broncos kids to have Hodges out there? And I'm sure Hodges will be relaying some stern messages at times. Hodges wouldn't muck around, wouldn't mince his words.
Don't think I'd like that feedback. I don't think he'll run back. He'll stay with him so he doesn't have to do the double.
He'll be giving some tips there.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
little cheeky something there out of Hodges, I think. Looking okay as well. He's stayed in some sort of shape.
Yeah, he sure does. He's working very hard. I'm sure he's been involved in the pathway system for the Origins, 3 Origins as well. So he's got his eye on coaching and enjoying his time at Fox Sports as well.
I have seen him cruising around on the push bike around Milton. Big kick here now from the sideline for Hayden O'Hara. Can't get any further out on the eastern side of the ground. Strikes it okay, but drags it to the left-hand side. Broncos now leading comfortably by 24 points to 6. Emma Lawrence.
Yeah, not good signs for Newcastle now, is it? But that try scorer, David Foward, he actually has an older brother, Josh, who is in this 20 side. He's usually their starting 5'8", but he's injured at the moment. He's about 11 months older. So how good would it be to one day see the two of those playing first grade together?
Yeah, obviously very talented football team. He's been super impressive every time he's got the football today, the winger. Now it's the Broncos. They've been dominant, certainly on the scoreboard. Knights need to get back into the game. The penalty coming out of their own line, for the Broncos coming out of their own line was really damaging for the Knights. That'll help, though. He's turned the football over there, the skipper in Carrigan.
Yeah, this isn't funny, again. You're getting well and truly on top, and then that's all you need is just a little error like that to invite the opposition back in. And Knights fancy their chances here with their hands on the ball to maybe stay down here in the half of the Brisbane Broncos and put a few of the plays on themselves, make the Broncos work for it, take a bit of gas out of them.
Where do the points come from for the Knights?
Yeah, I'll be going this left edge from McIntyre, as we spoke about. Tommy Starling through the middle. The Knights like to attack through the middle third, so there's an opportunity for him there.
Good run there by Brodie Jones, the player we've spoken about, who's spent some time in the full-time squad. Now it's the Knights on the attack. Starling, the back Cooper with a bit of space. Wanting to link up with his centre. Still going, Matt Cooper. Maybe a handful to put down. Eventually to the ground. Starling out of dummy half with the markers tied up. Butterfield now crashing towards the try line. And Jaden will play a metre out next to the post. Starling with a deep pass to Johns. He'll take them on, Jack Johns. Just slipped underfoot.
Like the look of that, Frank. Jack taking them on, right foot.
It's going to be a penalty. It'll be for the Newcastle Knights, just pushing Johns in to play the ball. That's what the Knights need, straightening up.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Jack Johns to come off the right foot. Just need someone on the inside. Hopefully the penny drops for him there and he can take him on a little bit more. And more for the other players around him as well.
Butterfield will take it towards the posts. That's where his halves have pointed towards. Johns and Dark, lots of communications at the moment, set up on both sides of the ruck. Dark with the football, deep to Cooper, who looked only half interested in that play then. It wasn't a great pass, but Cooper needed to move on to the football, and another mistake for the Knights.
Yeah, right under the black dot there is from 50%. Had to set up both ways. Fullbacks on this side here. And that's just an elementary execution error.
It wasn't a great pass.
No, it's one of those ones, Frank, if you can hear, you can't see them sometimes, but you can hear them. You want to know if they're there. So you've got to talk to them. Yep, I'm here. You hear just some sort of voice. You can pass to a voice, but you can't pass to someone sometimes where you can't see.
And you do a lot of work with these youngsters on those key communications, and it seems that would be a part of Matt Cooper's game that the Knights will continue to work on.
I think so. For his progression, you need to find a voice and communicate. And the high ball, that's just about being confident enough to put your name on that one. And we saw there, how's he talking?
We know he's got plenty of ability, particularly with ball in hand, Matt Cooper. In the meantime, the Broncos roll down centre field. Carrigan, the skipper, gets them to the halfway line. Good setup on the left. Burns is back onto his feet. Short pass, that lead runner. Burns got a quick play the ball, meaning that the other Burns has got plenty of time to kick and just taps the ball towards the in goal. Good set of 6 there by the Broncos.
Yeah, that's the best set of 6 for the Bronx, and jam up here now. But just couldn't get off their line. As you see, as you get through the top into the top grade, there's the blueprint. Into the corner and press up and get off your line and force a issue.
Here's Heath Gibbs with the football now. Knights have got to go a long way down the other end. They've forced their hand once again. Referee said knock back. Luck there for the Knights as Andrews
claimed it was off the leg. Didn't play at it. Definitely wasn't knocked back.
One the Knights might have got away with there. 5th tackle kick now by Johns. He just drills it down that short side corridor, bouncing into touch. He's happy to give his team a bit of a rest. They certainly look a little gassed in the first 10 minutes of the second half, the Knights.
Yeah, they're just getting their head together, I guess. Leaking 2 tries. Be disappointed about that, but you can't carry divots. You've got to put it aside and not look at the scoreboard. That's most important.
As we take a look here and we'll see whether the referee got it right. Ooh, I think there might have been a little finger on that. The referee said it. They're fairly long limbs of Andrews there.
Yeah, not playing to the scoreboard. I was talking about just get through your sets, and that's probably the mindset at the moment.
Newcastle, stay bound till I call out.
Referee just asking the Newcastle Knights to stay bound until the ball comes out. It's a bit of a lottery, the old scrum these days, Dan.
Don't start
We
me.
see Steve Roach at the back of the box here. I think he wants to see striking and pushing come back.
I did see the Warriors push the Penrith Panthers off the ball last night in that match. And I don't know if you can do that, everyone, but every now and then you can do it, apparently.
That'd excite the old hooker in Dan Medeiros, wouldn't it? Broncos now,
That's
30 out front.
before my time, Frank, that pushing stuff in scrums.
There's the Knights with a bit of line speed and defence. Led there by Finau. Need to be inspired by someone try and do something about this 24-6 deficit. Fresh legs on the field for the Broncos. Rivera Rowe. Emma Lawrence spoke about the rotation of the Broncos players when he comes onto the field.
Looks nippy out of there too, Guerrero Rowe. The Nicarima. Some compact. Dangerous out of there, I'm sure.
We might go down to Emma Lawrence. You spoke about this key interchange in the rotation for the Brisbane Broncos. He's on the field now.
Yeah, and this is only his 3rd game up in the 20s. He can play a bit of everywhere. He can play 5'8", he can play hooker. So, as you guys mentioned, very nippy out of dummy half, so keep a close eye on him.
Big error from the Knights there. Coming out of trouble.
Huge mistake means the blowtorch is back on their defensive line as Blacker spins his way towards the line, still going. Eventually the Knights drag him down only a metre out. They're set up deep to the left-hand side and the right. They come to O'Hara on the right. Beautiful ball. Another good ball on the chest of the centre, and it's try time to Staggs. That was a beautiful setup and execution by the Broncos.
That's pass selection at its best, and how good to see an outside back just hitting a line. Let's have a look at the turnover here. Put the Knights under all the pressure. It's once again a basic grip error. Got to have a bit more responsibility going into contact. Nice pass here. Just caught out the Knights' left edge. Have a look at this way. He just comes onto the ball. Staggs, try scoring machine.
And Hayden O'Hara, if he's not scoring tries, he's setting them up. That's his third try assist for the afternoon. Just so much time and good vision. Knights were stripped defensively on that left-hand edge.
Yeah, Mitch Andrews needs to jam in pretty hard there, but that's just a really good line. It's very hard to stop. He's a product of out there at Wellington, out in Dubbo. Did you say that's a Knights area as well, Frank?
Everywhere is.
Put him on the
it?
list.
Yes. Katoni Staggs. It's a great story. We touched on it in the first half. From Wellington. It's a famous rugby league nursery. And he stayed at home and played in the 18s, played in the local first grade. And then he come to Brisbane and he's adjusted well to city life. He's a bush boy through and through, we understand. And now he's going to have a go at the goal kicking.
Yeah, he's a shadow player for the New South Wales under-20s as well. So definitely earmarked for future rep honours.
Far and wide the recruitment for the Broncos. Let's see if he can convert his own try. Starts it on the left, tried to bend it back. Unable to add the extra 2 points. Broncos well and truly in front, 28 points to 6. We'll go to the sideline to Emma Lawrence.
Well, it was great work from the Broncos, wasn't it? But again, it comes off another Newcastle error. Now they've only completed 15 of their 21 sets. And I guess that's the thing. All of the coaches say in the 20s, it's really, really hard, as cliched as it sounds, for them to get an 80-minute performance together. They'll have good patches and then patches where they just fall apart and are dropping so much ball.
You're spot on. And as you say that, Emma, it's the Broncos that turn it over. That other key indicator of completing sets after points. Haven't been able to achieve that. So now the Knights get an opportunity. Centre field. Butterfield with the football across field. They look like they want to set up to the open on the right-hand side. And Dark's keen to get the football. Little trick shot to the shorts. Sam McIntyre barges to the try line. He got a double last week. Danny Medeiros has been screaming to get football to him.
Hold up. 12 has it.
He can't get it down, Dan.
What do we do that for?
Yeah, nice little play there from Tommy Starling. Poked out to his right. Flipped it back to the left to McIntyre, and they've done a really good job, the Broncos, to hold him up.
Tackle 2.
Hits the lead runner there. Corey Allen's involved. So to his blacker.
Time on, go!
Fantastic performance there by the Broncos to hold him up. Now they move the ball, the Knights. Johns out the back to Cooper. Good hands there by Heath Gibbs. As he caught it, he was met in defence by the Broncos, able to be strong enough to hold on to the football. Henry Penn back to the centre field, pumping the legs. Experience of Penn is vital for the Knights if they're to get back into this game. Still plenty of time. Butterfield with a good ball out the back. Unfortunately, it bounces in front of McIntyre, who has to retreat.
Well, he knew where the ball had to get to, Butterfield, but the half had to step up and get the ball there.
Dark, a big left field, cross field kick. Here's a chance for the Knights. Oh, well taken by Foward. Will eventually take him back in the in goal. So it'll be a dropout for the Broncos. Geez, been impressive both in attack and defence, the winger for the Bronx.
Yeah, it looks like he does things with ease and got a bit of time. And nice take. The Knights, they're very short on the right, the Broncos. And nice take there from Foward.
Yeah, it was. Once again, a few more Knights need to probably push through and put some pressure on their energy levels. Just need to lift if they're with 25, just under 25 minutes to go to get back into this game. Everyone's going to be pushing with energy.
They do. They've got to make everything a challenge, make everything a contest, I guess you could say, with and without the ball, especially those high kicks. Get up. Might come down with it.
See an injured player in Paliasia have to leave the field, which you'd think would normally be good news for the Knights, except for the fact that it means that Haas comes back on the football field, who was just unbelievable in the first half.
He'll finish the game off, Payne. Block up that middle and do his job, and here he comes now, the 17-year-old.
Tell you what, Dean, I wouldn't like to be feeding him. I think that would take a fair bit.
He's one of many in his family too. Mum and Dad look after.
Well, trouble here for the Knights. They fumbled and bumbled the ball. It was a huge dropout, over 50 metres, and they'll play it on tackle 1, just into the Broncos side of the field. Good run now by the interchange forward in Finau. Then the Knights get some ascendancy. Starling and Adamiha. Penn with a good leg drive and leg speed. Super run by Henry. Sets it up nicely for the Knights. 11 metres out. Starling back to the open. Dark, he had to stop and go back in field. Still going, Curtis. Allen comes up and wraps him up.
Big run from Penn. Just had to play up. Just play. Tommy Starling went for the shape run.
Deep pass from Johns. Smith is well marked there. Broncos have been very good structurally in defence. Staggs. Now Johns goes back centre field. Kicked it at point-blank range into Haas's head, I think, so it'll be 6 to go. Yeah, and now the Knights have shoved it over the sideline.
First one here.
They're going to go back to the original knock-on, so a little bit of luck for the Knights.
Yep. Played the advantage and it wasn't taken by the Knights.
No advantage, Roy.
Tell you what, this kick, this could be a falcon, I think we're looking at here, Dan. No, on the hands, it was just too sharp. It's like he's in the slip and he wasn't ready for the nick.
Yeah, the Knights probably just don't need to play too much shape. Just go forward, get Tommy Starling out of there, just start pushing with each other and find things to turn around. Need a bit more support.
Jones now with the football. He's been earmarked with a heap of talent. He might be one of the keys for the Knights. John's standing one off the right. Inside, outside dummy. Cooper. Cooper get over the try line. Oh, he's so close. Temptation was to reach out, but he did the right thing. Now they need to reset the Knights. Jack Johns dancing around. They're going to go back to the...
See what happens. We've got a breakdown here, guys.
Matty Cooper must have been so close. He didn't stretch out.
Gee, it's tempting, Dan. He did the right thing.
He did the right thing, absolutely, but he didn't extend his arm. Very close to getting over that white stripe.
William Finau with the ball. The penalty is... It'll help the Knights. They need to come up with points, though. Good run now by Brodie Jones. It's that defensive line. Good body position as he meets the defensive line. Starling out of dummy half to Johns. Wide pass to Dark. Dark steps back in field. Probably need to let it sing there. Oh, now he's dumped it out the back and the Broncos have it through Blacker.
It's going to be one. It's an offload that's come forward. It's an offload.
It was an offload. It was just forced there by Curtis Dark.
Yeah, you've got to pass the ball to someone in a better position than you, and he wasn't in the best position there. He'd be disappointed with that Dark and probably should have let the ball go.
There was a hand over the top, though.
Yeah,
Gira
happy with that one to let go. It's definitely look they'll float it.
There's an opportunity for the Broncos, and once again it's the 5'8" O'Hara. Comes to the fullback, Cooper, runs around him. Desperate defence by Starling, knocks him over. 30 out from the Knights line. Good job to slow the play the ball down to Starling. They lost a bit of momentum, but they're still on the attack, and it's a big boy Haas. Still going, backing his way downfield. Like a truck. Fifth tackle for the Broncos. Blacker with the ball, out the back to O'Hara. A little bit lost there, the Broncos. And the last option for them, the kick to the in goal, easily taken by Cooper.
Nice break there from the Brisbane Broncos through the middle of the Knights' defence again. Another big job. They look downfield and they see that try line well and truly downfield. I bet Penn has added a lot of punch since he's come on through that middle third. They've just got to play on the back of that. Go, Tommy.
Tommy's now on the back of that. Can the Knights get some ascendancy? Good skip to the outside by Dark. Johns with hands. Now there's some space for the Knights. Gibbs trying to link up with Gudgeon. The scramble defence by the Broncos drags the centre down. Can the Knights get some more attack through the centre? It's flat-footed. Starling trying to create something. There's not a lot on offer. The offload now. And here's an opportunity. Loffrey on the field. He was the player that sealed it last week for the draw. Starling at a dummy half. Dark seen some space back to the post. A clever kick. Loffrey once again chases through. I think he might have got the ball over the line. He's added some injection off the bench in Hayden Loffrey. The Knights are back in it with a try. Good vision there by the 5'8" in Curtis Dark to kick to the space.
That's his favourite kick. Back to the right for Dark, left footer. And Loffrey, he's an energetic player. He plays in the halves and he's an opportunist. He'll pop up and do his role for the team, but nice footwork. He's a bit of a winner, Loffrey. Like what he brings every match. Just gets across the stripe.
He's a player that's interesting because he came in a different position. They played him in the halves. Round one against the Warriors, he was very good. As Gudgeon now quickly takes the kick and adds the extra 2 points, which is 100 points for him for the season. Can the Knights storm back into it? Emma Lawrence, you've got some injury updates on the sideline.
I certainly do, Frank. It's not good news for the Broncos. Keenan Palisea has done his medial, so he'll be out for at least a couple of weeks, and he's been really important for them. Not only did he play 20s Origin for Queensland, but he saves them an interchange in a sense because he starts in the back row, and then when Whitbread gets tired, he shifts to the front row, and the last few weeks he's played 80 minutes, so he's a workhorse, one of their best players, so that's a big, big loss for the Broncos.
It's a very good point as they put some more fresh legs on and Rory Ferguson. We've seen the Knights come back into games. They've trailed before, and you touched on it before, Dan Medeiros. Runs like that from Henry Penn are good, except for when you turn the football over. The ball in the contact zone and that grip you speak about must be an issue for Henry.
It would be, Coach Frank. Look at this. Let's have a look at this in the context. See if we can help out here. That's just a good shot from down low, but no Russell there. That's a nice shot from just under the ball. That's where you want to tackle. You never know you're going to come with an error like Henry Penn has just there, but he's got to get your bumper up or something that you can protect that ball with into contact. You just can't come up with those errors. Be really disappointed with that.
He looked angry. He had the good face going. Mistake. Hurts the Knights.
You can't use that as a bumper, the face.
No, but he had the looks good. Allen cross field now. Danger times for the Knights. They must defend their own line. They've been good in every opportunity being presented to them. They've normally capitalised.
They have invited the Broncos in a lot of the times, haven't they, Knights? In the back of their errors coming out of the back end of the field.
Fresh legs of Ferguson with a quick play of the ball. And it's the Broncos on the attack, and now an offload. Here's danger. Can the Knights defend it? A nippy little interchange and Dre Nagira row. They're set up on the right-hand side with big numbers, the Broncos. O'Hara. Now he moves it back centre field to the skipper and Carrigan. Out the back to Burns. They're dangerous in this broken field play. Good defence there by Jones for the Knights. Will they come back centre field? Ferguson with another touch. He's caught on the 5th tackle a metre out. They'll be looking for at least a repeat set of 6. Burns goes to the short side, to the line, off the legs of Johns, and he dives on it. And the Knights do that. They defend their own line.
Yeah, if you're looking for an improvement from Coach Tronk, their kicking game going forward for next week, they can just finish off their kicking game, finish off their sets. They'll be well and truly on top in this game, and the Knights wouldn't be even in it. But something to work on, always something to work on for next week.
Absolutely. It's such an important game for both Knights and the Broncos from a ladder perspective. The Knights are trying to stay in that. They'll stay in the top 4 at this stage. With the Broncos, they can really jump up into that 8, well and truly. Especially with the points differential. They're -2 heading into this game. Hosking now plays the ball over the halfway line.
You've got to give rap to Carrigan as well. I know we've been waxing on about Payne Haas, but Carrigan with 31 tackles, 18 hit-ups, real captain's knock, ever present in the middle, the number 13.
Not only that, with an OP of 1, he's at Bright Spark as well, studying physiotherapy. These youngsters might have us covered, I think, Dan.
Well and truly, Frank.
Now it's the Broncos rolling it out off their own line. I've been impressed with the winger, Howard, until he passed it to the Knights. It was a good offload. It's just a shame that Cameron King was there to intercept it. No more raps from me. Starling had a dummy up. Curtis Darks wants to move the ball quickly over to Kanoa Gudgeon. Gudgeon seen some space, but the scramble again from the Broncos shut him down. They want to move at centre field.
Support. Where's his support?
No one there to be seen. They're set up on the left-hand side. The opportunity was just off his hip. Now they go to the left. Dark to McIntyre. Can McIntyre come up with that try? Broncos are onto him, and it was Big Haas and Allen that wrapped him up. Starling, a wide pass to Johns, who had to stop to catch it. Now the kick's across field. It might be too deep. Good competition for the ball. Once again, Foward, so good in the air.
So good, Foward. He had that error coming out of the back of the field before, but that's a great take from Foward. Above the head, two-handed take above the head. Anytime you come down with it, that's a success. Well played. He's got a bright future, and can you not give him any more raps, please, Frank, because you're on fire here today.
I can take his legs out from underneath him, David. And then he went for the next hit-up as well, so the work rate's there.
Well, he's in there to make up for his error, which is great. Great to see from anyone, let alone a youngster.
That's the Broncos rolling over the halfway line. They're making these metres way too easily. Good tackle down low by Tommy Starling. Dropped Haas. Keep going to that to the far side of the field. Here's a chance. Here's the man forward. He's got support back on the inside. Passes into it. Newcastle Knight and Curtis Dark. He's casual there, and that might have been a touch too casual.
Let's have a look. Can we have a look at Shibasaki? That was beautiful centre play from him. Just to slip forward down that left edge. Nice little shimmy in the way. Geez, it was nice. Let's have a look at it. Nice little pass. Just need to pass there.
Yep.
Just went too long with the ball and tried to go right to the fullback, but he just needed to pass a little bit earlier.
Kanoa Gudgeon did a good job because he was beaten on the outside, was able to retreat and get in between to intercept, which was a good performance. He's impressive too, Gamut Shibasaki.
Absolutely.
Now there's some space for the Knights. Cooper skipped to the outside. Didn't quite get the ball to Andrews. Fifth tackle. The Knights will have been an attacking kick. Curtis Dark, the big left foot across field. There's a bit of space there as Johns comes through. Just not enough pressure from the Knights.
Just a kick and hope, that one. Probably to kick a little bit straighter down this left side. He would have had a few more chasers on board. Tried to kick it once again back. Anyone reading that was Jack Johns, who got there late.
Haas with the ball now. More of a conventional front rower's job in the second half.
Good ball.
This bloke's been super. You touched on it before, Dan. The skipper. A great knock by Patrick Carrigan.
Every team needs a player like that. Put your hands up in attack and defence.
It's Hayden O'Hara's chance to go to the edge. Allen has had limited opportunities.
Tony Staggs could have jumped underneath him there. The massive hole as Allen went across field there.
O'Hara now kicking behind. Andrews is able to retreat and pick it up. Now there's some space for Andrews. We've seen him go coast to coast here last time against the West Tigers. Carrigan, the skipper, once again plugged the hole. The Knights get a bit of momentum. Brodie Jones with the ball. It'll need to come from their halves in Johns and probably Cooper out the back end.
Yeah, they just got to support each other, push up, not play for set plays like that. There you go. That's how you're going to get back into it, especially with Loffrey, Starling, Cooper spearheading that.
Now we're seeing Starling onto Croker. He was the player that produced the second phase offload. Loffrey and Cooper sniffing around the rucks. Now it's Jack Johns with the ball. Onto Brodie Jones. Jones, he forced the pass as well. That has been the Achilles heel for the Newcastle Knights. Just pushing that ball in traffic.
That's the 10th error, the Knights. It's killed them in this game.
And what we've seen is every time that's happened, the Broncos have capitalised on top of it.
He's a good mover, Shibasaki. Gamut Shibasaki, the number 4. We really enjoyed watching him here today.
Played in the 9s for the Broncos, also a junior-roo. Now it's Haas's turn. He skidded him like 9 pins then. Actually might have caused a little bit of injury there to the big front rower for the Knights. And on the back of that sustained pressure, the penalty comes.
Yeah, when you're running in to tackle someone like Payne Haas, where would you tackle him, Frank? He's gone across field, so the inside number 11 for the Knights was working hard to get his legs. That was Henry Penn. The guy on front's got a job to wrap the ball up. Pops one in the sternum.
So he asked me where I would tackle him.
Bootlace.
I'd make sure I wasn't in that contact zone somewhere. Interesting to see Justin Hodges coming out and delivering some real key messages here, particularly the halves in O'Hara.
Yeah, we're looking to keep the game, just keep playing. I guess that would be a message. Don't go into your shell and just keep to your structure. How you want to finish this game and take it into next week.
Right, is he staying on?
You touched on it before. So good to see these players as they step out of the game, and you're going through that with these pathways and transitional programs. To see Justin Hodges go on the field as we see Brodie Jones, it is coming from the field, and be a HIA by the look of that, Dan.
It looks it. Looks it. It doesn't really know what's happening there, but yeah, as you talk about with the guys that want to get back involved, and you've got to start down the bottom with its coaching, and not saying this is the bottom, but you start down, you're helping out. You've got to just get out there, run the messages, and so many coaches over the years, Craig Bellamy, they all started in that blue shirt, just one of plenty.
Don't go early.
They go on and have great careers as a coaching. So hopefully Hodjo wants to get involved in the career coaching because he'd be very good.
Brandon Russell with the ball now. He's already got a double of tries here at McDonald Jones Stadium. Haas will be hard to stop. Speaking of doubles, Payne Haas Big, strong, mobile. His stats are enormous, and he's got a rap on him, and he's living up to it, and you can see he seems fairly humble as all this rolls out.
Yeah, the house of Payne here. Look at that, just slips to the outside shoulder of Starling. Big man on small man, always going to come up trumps. Just needed a bit of help from Henry Penn, need to get in there with his left shoulder and help young Tommy Starling out. But Payne, they made him captain of the under-18s New South Wales team just to test out his leadership and see what if he liked that role, and just to keep progressing, as it is a pathways program. And I think he would have got a lot out of it, being responsible for his team.
Have a look at these stats. 2 tries, 3 offloads, 33 tackles and 17 hit-ups with 2 line breaks.
And doing it easy. Doing it easy. He's, as I spoke about, the training and the fitness, and it's between the ears with Payne, and he's got that part fitted as well, and working hard to be the best he can in that area as well.
And let's not lose sight of the fact he represented New South Wales recently, and then he has to go and train against the Queensland Maroons as a fill-in for David Fafita. It was Andrew Fafita. We did that before as well. He couldn't have liked that as it blew up against the Maroons.
Well, no, you couldn't have. You couldn't have. But this team, the 20s, scrimmaged, played opposed against the state team, and they apparently coming out of camp, a few of the players were super impressed with Payne Haas, and that's the first grade team, and that's the State of Origin team of Queensland. He played his role really good as Andrew Fafita.
He has been super. And I know, Emma Lawrence, you've also been. He's been on your radar. Very, very impressive young man.
Hasn't he? And he's a big boy as well, but he's quick. When you're down here looking at him, he's got great stride length, so definitely one to keep an eye out for. And given that he's so young as well, and same as a lot of these Broncos players, they're all very young, so they've got bright futures ahead of them, Frank.
They sure do, Emma. He doesn't turn 18 till December. And, I think the most impressive part is he's willing to learn, and as you said, Dina, from a big family, a very polite young man, and that's always great to see. Broncos just continue to roll down that centre third. Payne Haas has been super impressive.
Is he a tennis player?
I don't think Payne will be playing tennis, but the skipper has been, as you said, a number of times, equally impressive. Look at the workload. He's keen to roll the sleeves up. They can't foul him on this occasion. 5th tackle. Another completed set by the Brisbane Broncos. Pressure at the back for Cooper. Oh, and he can't come. It actually might be Loffrey at the back, I think. Unfortunately, comes up with the mistake there. And compounding for the Knights, and seeing that versatility there, I think it is Loffrey playing at fullback, and he's played in a few different positions.
Yeah, I think Cooper's gone out to the wing here, the left wing, and Loffrey's gone at the back, and it's hard to change up combinations and expect guys to do things right. And the Knights have been their own worst enemies here today. Too many errors at the back of the field, hence the scoreline. A really impressive Brisbane Broncos with all this ball. They're not finished here yet. Looking to crack the 40-point mark.
I think they'll go to the right here, Dan. They're well and truly set up wide to the right. And there's space for Allen. Here's a chance once again for Staggs. A one-on-one steal by Cooper. Play on, the referee said. Now it's Allen who's just going to reset with the Knights defenders in front of him. Broncos continue to dominate. They're not finished with yet. Carrigan with the ball. Speed of the line from the Knights. Up quickly. Shut the skipper down.
It was a long pass from the 9. Pretty flat he was, Carrigan.
They keep going. It's dangerous, this little interchange player in Nagira Rowe. Added some real energy. Now they go the short side.
Oh, Cammett.
Oh, Cammett with some footwork onto Foward, who looks as calm as he's just dancing around. He thinks he's playing in an Indigenous knockout at the moment. He comes centre field. He's also been super impressive. Foward plays 11 metres out. Haas with the ball. Thought about ball playing. In the end, comes up with an offload. All the time in the world. Passed it to Cooper, who got in the middle of the attacking line and just sat himself there till eventually he got the football. Now one-on-one steal against him.
Well, Whitbread came up with the pass to Cooper. Made up with a one-on-one strip. And they're still on the attack here, the Broncos.
That's the skipper in Patrick Carrigan. 3 minutes to go. Can the Broncos get more points on the board? Now it's Payne Haas with the ball. Good tackle down low by Croker. Stopped him in his tracks. O'Hara wants it and gets it. back to the inside shoulder. The Knights are going to have to defend hard here. I think he might be held up in the in-goal. Allowed him just to back his way over into the in-goal, which was actually good for the Knights.
It's tackle 4, number
That's
6
good for the Broncos as well. They can get a little bit more depth here. Get back and put on a play.
Go on the comms, mate.
We'd like to see Gamut Shibasaki with some more.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Just a nice little tunnel ball. Looks like he's going to get a bit of action here. You got Allen standing out there with Gamut Shibasaki.
They're set up to the right-hand side with a little... Looks like they've got some sort of trick shot where they're going to go to the open. Little kick in the in goal. The Knights have been able to grab it. It's been a setup that they've used. They look like all the attention to the right and then they go to the open. Just desperation by Tommy Starling, able to drag it back in.
He's done that a couple of times today, Tommy Starling, helping his team out with that goal line desperation.
Trouble here for Henry Penn, though. He's in reverse.
That's right.
Just tired run. I think
Leave the ball.
They got him back in the in goal. We're just looking to see what the ruling is from the referee.
Goal line.
Not hard to work out how that went about. I know we've been $1 every time we said his name today, Frank. You'd owe me about 5 coffees, I reckon. Big Payne Haas again holding up, doing his job. Well done to the other guys coming in, and Whitbread forcing the issue, getting right behind him.
This could be potent for the Bronx because they lead the league in tries from dropouts. Their preferred way to start the set of 6. Can they get some more points on the board? Looking for a little bit of support there to the outside, and there was none. No one pushing up for the Broncos. Just had to take the tackle smoothly. Now it's O'Hara with the ball. Flat pass. Haas, he'll be able to stop. It's a treble for Payne Haas. He's doing it in ease.
All right, that's my 5th coffee, as I said, Payne Haas. So no sugar, Frank. Wow. What do you say? They've run this lead line a couple of times and just challenging inside shoulders and making people tackle here. Look at that run. Poor Matty Cooper, the one, needed to go low there. Go in, look high, and then just bouncing around his hips.
He was retreating as well.
He's retreating on your line and wasn't too keen to get amongst that one, which is a shame. But nice run there from Payne Haas. Nice ball on the button. Puts the ball down and had a real dominant performance here today.
Another hat-trick by a Bronco. We've seen Staggs in round 6 also come up with it. I tell you what, Dan, how long do you see him in first grade? I know I don't like to put pressure on young blokes,
yeah,
how long?
He'll get a start next year. He needs another pre-season. And then I'm sure Wayne Bennett will have some big plans for him for the 2018 season. But we talk about him playing a role as Andrew Fafito, but what about the experience and playing against a team like Queensland, what he would have got out of that experience himself? So it's a learning thing for Payne, but the way Queensland would have controlled that scrimmage middle of last week or back end of the week, and he gets here today and very confident and feels like he can do anything he wants in this 20s competition.
Tony Staggs has the ball placed for the last play of the day. Starts it to the right and brings it back to the left. An emphatic victory by the Brisbane Broncos over the Newcastle Knights by 40 points to 12.